But up first tonight, who has the keys to your house?
It may be more than just your family and friends. Here's Sean O'Shea with a warning in a Global News investigation.
They can be the key to protecting your home and family, but there's a problem with some of the people changing your locks.
Unfortunately, it's consumer beware in the locksmith industry right now.
The issue, deceptive advertising and unqualified technicians.
We didn't realize how big the problem was until recently.
Well, the only way I can describe it is he ripped me off.
Kathleen Blizzard found out firsthand.
It was a panic situation. I mean, I've never done anything so stupid in my life.
Blizzard went to the phone book and hired someone she thought was qualified, someone who charged her $600 for a new deadbolt lock. Problem was, that lock didn't work. She had to hire a second company to have it replaced. Most consumers getting stung are finding their locksmith over the internet. Bogus local companies using fake addresses where the calls typically go to places like New York or Florida. Security company owner Paul Seidman analyzed some of those ads.
Scam, 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 scam.
He found dozens of companies using fake addresses.
If you have a legitimate concern or a legitimate complaint, you're going to have a real hard problem tracking them down.
We had one of our staff call up the local numbers, and in less than an hour, a man calling himself Tom showed up at the house.
I don't want to just commit to it.
Right.
I want to see the kind of door so I can tell you if we can go lower than that or what.
At first, he told her several well-known lock brands weren't worth the money, but he wasn't upfront about pricing the job. Later, we called Dependable Locks, the company that originally did Kathleen Blizzard's job. The technicians quote between $200 and $600 a lock. But who's standing behind the work?
I'm Sean O'Shea, the consumer reporter at Global TV.
I asked the men to show us proof they're qualified.
You guys have a license or qualifications, bonding, insurance, any of that
have
stuff?
everything. Talk to the company. Yeah.
But by the time we called, Dependable's number was out of service. And as for Tom...
What qualifications do you have to be able to do this?
Learned it.
Tom has no license, bonding, or insurance. But surely he can tell us who hired him.
I work for nobody. I received a call from a friend of mine that works in a company, offered me a job, came and did the job as a representative of the company.
What company, though? Remarkably, Tom isn't breaking any laws because a locksmith license isn't even required in Ontario. And as for Dependable Lock, Kathleen Blizzard hired a lawyer to help her get a $150 refund on her work. The money was sent from the Bronx, New York. Now, the locksmith industry says many of these technicians jack up prices 4 or 5 times above normal or worse. The technician could have a criminal record. He could be keeping a key in order to come back later to clean you out. Later on Consumer SOS, some tips on how to prevent getting ripped off.
Last night, we told you about a problem we uncovered about home security and who may have the keys to your home. Tonight in Consumer SOS, Sean O'Shea looks at the locksmith industry and how its lack of regulations could put you at risk.
On the phone, you gave me quite
There's some of the people who change the locks on your door. Technicians hired from ads through the electronic version of the Yellow Pages. And as we found out when we tried to hire them from their listings,
Yeah, that's the house.
there's no guarantee you'll get someone qualified.
And as long as the regulations aren't there, nobody will take it seriously. It's all about making a buck.
Whether honest or a criminal, people calling themselves locksmiths can buy tools of the trade, lockpicks and other devices like these designed to get into your house.
Somebody could be installing locks, keeping a key. So you really need to be aware of who you're dealing with and use a reputable company.
High security companies like Medico only allow certified technicians to sell its locks, and they're careful about who gets the keys.
We treat our keys like bank cards, if you will. We need to make sure that the person getting the key cut is the proper person, proper authorization, right signatures.
But checks and balances are the exception in the industry, which is unregulated in Ontario.
In order to have consumers protected, we really do need provincial regulation for that.
A decade ago, Frank Cleese unsuccessfully tried to get his own Conservative government to legislate the industry.
We should have it. I don't understand why it's not being done.
When we went Yellow Pages shopping, we found locksmiths using bogus names and fake addresses. The woman at the other end of this local line should have been in Toronto.
Please leave a message.
But instead, she was in Florida. Yellow Pages didn't scrutinize any of the ads. In its defense, Yellow Pages told us, we want to provide consumers the best possible experience. The listings are in the process of being removed from our website. We will work with the appropriate authorities to examine any questionable business practices that may have been taking place if deemed necessary. A day after we started phoning locksmiths operating from phony addresses, we got a surprise. All the phone lines routed to the United States, they were shut down. So who pulled the plug? It looks like the bogus locksmiths shut the phone lines themselves after we were calling, meaning that if you go searching online through Yellow Pages, you won't be able to reach some of the scammers. But we know that there are other companies out there still inflating prices, deceiving consumers, and not being available if something goes wrong. So a warning again tonight that if you are in need of a locksmith, get a referral to a reputable company. If you don't know of one, do some research. Maybe even ask the police department where you live. Don't make the mistake of hiring somebody who could not only cost you more money up front, but possibly come back to rob you after the job is done.